All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, it's time for a tier list. That's right guys, we got the OP13 tier list for today, and I'm going to be making some OP14 predictions as well, okay? So let's do this guys, let's get right into it. I will have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. This video is brought to you by Nin Garden. Pre-orders are now open for the Journey's End playmat featuring the Pirate King, with a 1 in 20 chance to pull the special Wanted Bounty variant. Plus, the Chaos and Crown collection, including the Berserk and Absolute Ruler playmats, are available at a discounted price. Nin Garden is also introducing their new soft cloth hybrid playmats, now available with select designs. And don't forget to use the code TheVVTheory at the checkout to get 8% off on your next order. Alright guys, so just to kind of lay things out real quick, we're going to be talking about OP13 in the West first, okay? After that, we will talk about OP14 predictions, okay? And I'm sure I'll try to tie EB03 into there somehow, but that's kind of complicated if I'm being honest, guys, because EB03 comes out for us in the West after EB04, of which we have no cards spoiled for just yet. So that'll be a little bit complicated, so my primary focus will, of course, be OP13, which comes out officially Friday, you know, this week at the time of recording this, and then we'll talk about OP14 at the end of the video, okay? Now, let's do this, guys. Notice how I have things set up on the left. I have best in color, so I don't necessarily have things in the traditional sense, where it's like S tier, S plus, S tier, A, B, C, and so on. I'm just going to have something, I'm going to have things a little bit different, where I have the best leaders in their colors represented at the top, and then under that will be very solid decks, and then under that's more in the maybe category, then maybe not, and then a smiley face, right? Just colon in bracket at the very end there. Okay, so let's do this, guys. Again, one more. Let me say one more thing before we dive into this. All of these top three tier lists here, or the top three parts of this tier list, maybe, solid, and best in color. I could see any of those decks actually probably making their way into a top, you know, top 64, top 32 of any tournament, you know, and then the lower down you go, the less likely they are to actually win the whole tournament. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. But anything down here in the yellow and green category, I would be very surprised to see those leaders win a big tournament. Okay, now let's do this, guys. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. As we go through them, I am going to probably move things around as I start putting everything into their places. I can make some adjustments on the fly. And we have 120 liters or so to go over, so I'm going to try to move through this pretty quickly. First up, we got Green Odin. I'm going to have this under maybe not. Green Purple Luffy. I'm going to put that as up here in the best category. And again, guys, I might move things around as we continue through. Blue Purple Croc, we're going to put that in the smiley face tier. Purple King, smiley face tier. You know, Edward Newgate is in the maybe tier now, because there's a new sheriff in town for red. Anything that is red and, you know, Whitebeard Pirates, that's probably going to go to Red Blue Ace now as being the best in show. Okay, Red Purple Uda will put maybe not. Green Hody, maybe not. Carrot is in maybe. I think Carrot's definitely in the maybe category. Green Purple Limb, I think, is very strong. Red Green Law is always in maybe. You just never know what can happen. With the right pilot, Red Green Law just does crazy things. Blue Purple Kaido, smiley face tier. Yellow Calgara, very solid. Red Green Luffy, same idea as Edward Newgate, where I think there's just a better Red Green Luffy, so why would you play this one? If you guys if y'all know anything, tell me in the comment section below if I'm off on something, guys. Help me out. Purple Magellan, going to put him in the smiley face tier, right next to Black Lucci from what was that, OP03 Lucci. Smoker, we have in maybe, because I think there's just better black decks to run currently. Green Yellow Arlong, going to put it towards the top of maybe. I think it could be decent into certain matchups, because it can be very aggressive, right? Red, I'm actually going to put Red Ace even lower than Edward Newgate, because I just don't think there's really a reason to run Red Ace anymore, especially with the new Red Blue Ace, you know, being a leader at OP13. Green Blue Rosinante, we'll put that at the top of maybe. Purple Iceberg, we're going to put down here in the smiley face tier. you know, Nami has been banned. We're going to put that at the bottom. Kuro, probably and maybe not. Maybe should be in smiley face tier, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of argument between these two tiers. Blue-purple, Hannibal, we'll put that in the smiley face tier. Yellow Katakuri, I think, is still solid. Maybe it should be in the maybe category, but, you know, at the same time, I think it's fine. Black-yellow Linlin, unfortunately, I feel like it's just been power crept past, so, you know, so long ago at this point that, you know, it's kind of struggling. That's in maybe not. Black-yellow Kairos, smiley face tier. Blue-purple Reiju is probably at the top of maybe now. I'm not exactly sure. Blue-purple Reiju is always a decent deck. I feel like it's in the same range as red-green Trafalgar Law, where even when it seems like the deck has been power crept past, certain players can still just make the leader work. Okay? Then we have black Gecko Moria here. I say black because there soon will be a black-yellow one in OP14. But Gecko Moria, that's going into solid. It's almost best in color for black, in my personal opinion. However, there is a deck named Emu that has that now. Purple Luffy, I think we're going to put that in best in color. Okay, next up we have green-black Perona. I'm going to put this in the maybe category because I don't think it's been figured out yet, but green-black Perona does get some support, and I think it's an EB03. And technically PRB02, where the leader could be decent. We'll have to see what happens there. But no promises, right? We'll have to see what happens. Red-green Chopper is very aggressive. I'm going to put it at the very bottom of maybe. Red Zoro, I think, is still solid. It's just a decent deck. I think it always will be. Purple-black King, we'll put that under maybe not. Blue Doflamingo, I think, is very solid right now, guys. I know, call me crazy. Red-blue, okay, I'm going to put this right next. Red-blue Marco, I'm putting right next to Edward Newgate. It's in the same category as Edward Newgate. Why play either of these two leaders when you could play the new Red Blue Ace? Red Blue Ace is a 6,000 power leader, and Red Blue Ace is red blue, just like Marco is. So why not run that? You have the same card pool options and all that good stuff. Okay, green blue Sanji. This is a smiley face tier. Red black Garp is in the maybe not category. Removal's not so strong anymore, guys. Removal is not so hot anymore. Okay, especially because of Emu. Okay, purple-black Zephyr, this is in the smiley face category. Purple-yellow Pudding, we're going to put that in solid. And I'm just kind of throwing these in their tiers right now, guys. I will adjust them later as we go through the video. Kinemon, I'm just going to put this right next to Odin. Green-black Isha, I'm going to put right next to, right between purple-black King and green Kinemon. Blue-yellow Queen in the maybe-not category. Red-yellow Bello Betty, I think, is still very solid. Green-purple Dofi could be decent moving forward when we talk about OP14, so I'll put that in the maybe category for now. Going into OP14, green-purple Doflamingo might have some, might get some new decent options. Blue Ivankov, smiley face category, isn't that nice? Blue-black Rebecca, we'll put that under maybe. Red Dragon, this is in the maybe not. Maybe would be an upgrade for this. I'm not sure, guys. I think it's more or less in the maybe not category. Green-yellow Yamato, I think, is solid. Green Jory Bonnie, I think, is up here in the best in color. We'll talk. I'm going to try to have, like, you know, 2 or more options for all of the best in color decks. You know, Zoro's going to go next to this guy. Spoiler warning, Zoro's going to go in there as well. Okay, this is the new Nefeltari Vivi. I'm going to save that for the end. All right, and then we have the old. This is the OP04 or OP05 Red Black Sabo. I can't remember the set it came from. We're going to put this in the maybe not category. Yellow Enel, I think, is probably one of the best, if not the best, yellow decks in the game still. Red Shanks, going to put that in the bottom of maybe. Shanks has fallen off quite a bit, guys, unfortunately. Purple-yellow Crocodile, that's going to go in maybe, because same idea here with green-purple Doflamingo. OP14 might help purple-yellow Crocodile out quite a bit. Black Lucci is under, it's still solid, just not into Emu, right? I think Black Lucci is actually still a very solid deck, guys, but maybe not when it comes to going against Emu. We'll have to see what happens. Okay, red-green Odin, I think, is actually probably in the middle of maybe, because the less removal there is in a format, the better red-green Odin gets, okay? Blue-black Sakazuki, there's always going to be the die-hard Sakazuki fans who are very talented, very skilled players that make the leader work. This is the old-school red-blue Nefeltari Vivi. I'm going to put that under maybe not. Yellow Vegapunk is under, I'm going to put that under maybe. Boa as well under maybe. It could get some more support going into OP14. And then Foxy, I think this is a maybe leader, probably in the same category as Vegapunk. Then we have Emu. That's going to go straight to the top of the list. Crocodile, we'll put that under maybe not. Red-green Smoker, very solid leader here. We'll put that under solid. Purple Shanks, smiley face tier. Red-blue Ace. Let's go straight to the top with this leader. Again, guys, I'm going to put them in order as we move through the list. Purple-yellow Nico Robin, I think, is actually at the very top of maybe. I think this leader's largely unexplored. I think it has a lot of potential. Okay, here's the new red-black Sabo. Let's move this all the way up to the top of the list here. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Black Marshall D. Teach, we'll put that under solid. Purple-black Luffy, we're going to put under maybe, guys. Purple-black Luffy is going to be under maybe. Red-green Luffy, that's going to go up to solid. Purple Kaido, maybe not. Maybe even smiley face tier, not sure. Promo Luffy, smiley face tier. Green Eustace Kid under maybe not. Red Purple Luffy will put under maybe. I just don't know why you would run Red Purple Luffy nowadays, guys. First of all, there's a 7,000 power Red Purple leader now in Goldie Roger. And second, if you're just trying to play Purple Straw Hat stuff like Gum Gum Giant, you have access to Blue Purple Luffy. Right, so Red Purple Luffy has kind of fallen off because of that. Okay, Trafalgar Law has been banned, of course. Caesar Clown, I'm going to put in the maybe not category. Sorry, guys. I know there's a lot of Caesar Clown fans out there. I think Kuzan is still a very solid leader, guys. We'll put that under solid. Red Purple Roger, that's going straight up to the top here. It's going to be hard to explain this with Best in Color, guys, but give me some time to work all this out, and we'll talk more about it. Blue Purple Sanji, I think this is a very solid leader. Let me move that up to the top. Let me zoom out some for this, guys, because there's so many leaders in the game now. Okay, Purple Yellow Rosinante. I'm going to put this under maybe because it might be getting some support. Let me put it next to these others up here. Purple Yellow Rosinante might get enough support in OP13. Or excuse me, not in OP13. In EB03, I think it is. Or maybe it's OP14 or maybe both for it to get into a decent category. But I still don't think it'll be under solid. Excuse me. Okay, next up we have Yellow Jory Bonnie. This is going under solid. Promo Trafalgar Law. This is going under smiley face tier. Blue Buggy. This is going, I think Buggy's solid. Maybe it should be in the maybe category, potentially. I'm not sure. We'll keep it under solid for now. This is, okay, yeah. ST01 Luffy, that's going under maybe not next to Dragon. Sanji is kind of solid. It probably should be under maybe, for being honest, guys. I'll put under maybe for now. Red Purple Yusa Kid is going under maybe not. This is the same idea as I have for Red Purple Luffy. It's like we have a new 7,000 power base leader that's Red Purple in town now with Red Purple Roger. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Actually, I think, have we already gone over that one? Yeah, we already have him up here. It's like, why would you play any of the other Red Purple stuff when Roger exists? Unless it's something very special, like in the case of Red Purple Trafalgar Law, but that's been banned. Okay, this Luffy here, I can't even remember which one it is, but it's going into maybe not. Yellow Eustace Kid, this one's going up into right next to Yellow Enel. We'll talk about that when we get to it. And again, guys, I think this is the OP08 Luffy. I think it's OP07 or 8 Luffy. I could be wrong. This is the one where whenever you have something like whenever you KO a character, you can attach a Dawn to your leader, I believe. That I get that one confused with the ST14 Luffy as well, where it's like if you have a Dawn attached to your leader and you have an 8 cost for higher character, it gets plus 1,000. Either way, they're going to go right next to each other. So let me just get that over with now. Where's the other one? Here's the other one. I will say I think the one on the right here is the one that can get its power buffed if you have a 8 cost or higher character on the board. That one's probably slightly better, so I'm going to put it under maybe, but they're both they've been power crept past at this point, in my personal opinion. Green Uda, we're going to put that under maybe. It's getting a lot of support in in OP13 with all the green film support. Okay, next up we have ST21 Red Luffy. I'm putting this into the maybe category. I don't think it's quite good enough to be solid. Some people might disagree with me on that. I know a lot of people really like that leader. Red Yellow Sabo is going under maybe. Green Zoro is going all the way up to the top here next to Bonnie. Okay, this is from the new set. We'll put that over here. Guys, we'll talk about the OP14 leaders in just a minute. Black Yellow Koala is going under solid. I think it's a very good leader. Rainbow Luffy, that's, you can't play that. Black Yellow Luffy, I think, is going under maybe. Could be pretty decent. We'll talk about that later. Purple Katakuri, ever since, I think, what is it, PRB02, ever since he got the 7 cost pudding, is kind of a decent leader. Blue Black Usopp, we're just going to put that under maybe. Not because I think it's quite solid. It's not quite in the solid category. I just don't think it's as bad as some of the leaders under it. Red Uda, smiley face tier. Yellow Yamato, smiley face tier. Yellow Lin Lin, that's going to be 1 tier under Yellow Katakuri. Blue, yellow, ace, I'm going to put under maybe right next to all the three brothers. It's going to come down to pilot and stuff like that here, guys, where it's like a good pilot with any of these three brothers decks can probably go into solid easily, but for the overwhelming average, it's just going to be like a middle tier. They're just going to be middle tier leaders. Blue black Sakazuki, that's going under smiley face tier. Green Jinbei we'll put under maybe not. We'll put under maybe or maybe not. I'm not sure. What do y'all think? I'll put under maybe for now. Silver's Rayleigh. I just did a video on this leader yesterday, guys. I think Silver's Rayleigh is very solid. Sakazuki will put under smiley face, but honestly, it should probably be under maybe not. I don't think it really matters. Like I said, guys, these two bottom tiers, why even talk about it, right? Why even talk about it? They're kind of in the same ballpark as far as competition goes. Green, yellow, Trafalgar Law, I think, is very solid. Blue, Ace and Newgate we'll put under maybe. Sugar we'll put under maybe because it could be very decent here soon with OP14. And then we have Blue, Yellow, Nami. That's going under solid. Blue, Yellow, Nami is actually very good. Green, Blue, Zoro and Sanji. That's going under solid. Blue, Purple, Luffy. That's going under... I still think that's one of the best decks in the game, personally. Blue, Yellow... Oh, wait, hang on. We're not going to talk about that yet. Okay, Green, Yellow, Shirahoshi. Some people are saying it could be decent with the PRB stuff. Or maybe it was the OP14 stuff. I can't remember anymore, guys. EB03, whatever it is. People are saying that it could be decent soon. I'll leave it under maybe. And Red Black Kobe. Red Black Kobe, I think it's going to be under maybe. Okay, is that it? Okay, yeah, these other leaders we'll talk about in just a second. All right, so here we go, guys. This is, let me zoom back in now. Okay, there we go. So we're really going to primarily focus in on the best in color and solid leaders, okay? I'm even going to zoom in a little bit more than usual here. Let me see if I can zoom in one more. Okay, that's probably not too bad, actually, right? We can probably make this work. No, we'll go one out from there. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to try to make it where I'm not actually going to put them in, like, the best order. I'm going to put them in color order. Okay, guys? So, for the red stuff here, let's just go ahead and, well, let me say it like this. I'm going to count some of these leaders as different colors. Rayleigh is obviously just a pure red deck. Let me move that over to the front here. And then Red Purple Roger, I'm going to consider as more of a purple deck, okay? So we got Red Rayleigh, we got Purple Luffy. I think this one probably should be down here under the solid category. In fact, we're going to make some quick revisions real quick because I want to fit exactly, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards. I'm going to try to fit all these on one row here just for whatever reason. And I think for the leader, I have to drop off the list is probably Purple Luffy down into solid, which we'll talk about more about Purple Luffy in a minute. And that's going to make me drop one of these leaders down into maybe. Excuse me. And we will drop Buggy down into maybe. There we go. Okay, now, I think I like where we have the list right now. So we have best in color for red is Silver's Rayleigh, and then probably, like, Red Black Sabo's almost more like a, more of a black leader than it is a red leader. So we'll put that there. Yellow Eustace Kid and Enel, they're obviously the yellow leaders. Red Purple Roger, we're going to put next to Blue Purple Luffy, and then Green Purple Luffy as well, because Green Purple Luffy is also like it's like a purple leader, right? It has some green cards, but it's mainly purple. And then I think that's it, right? So for the blues, oh, and we're going to put Ace next to Blue Purple Luffy because I feel like it's more of a blue leader representation, even though it also has red cards as well. So here you go, guys. If you're trying to be competitive in OP13, this is what I highly, highly recommend, is all of these best in color options up here. If you're trying to play like a red aggro deck, I would recommend Silver's Rayleigh. Okay, Bello Betty, I'll put that up at the top here for now. I think that's a good option as well for aggro. I think it's very solid. For green, you have Bonnie and Zoro. I think Bonnie and Zoro are pretty good. I think Zoro's better than Bonnie in OP13 overall. But if you like the more aggressive style, go Zoro. And if you like the more control style, go Bonnie. Okay, if you're playing blue, or if you like the color blue in the game, Ace is like the premier blue color leader in OP13. It has red options as well. Like, for example, red Searcher Garp. You have red Yamato. Some people are still running that. And the red 9-cost Edward Newgate. But the blue stuff, I feel like, is where the real strength is in this leader, where you have, you know, both of the 10-cost Edward Newgates. You have the 8-cost event I Am Whitebeard, Pudding, what else? Blue 4-cost Marco, the 5-cost Yamato. I feel like it's mainly a blue deck, right? So, so for red and blue, you have Ace. And then blue-purple, I still think blue-purple Luffy is up there in the top tiers, guys, where basically once we get the promo for Roger, the 8-cost promo Roger, you're going to be, the leader's going to be completely fine. Now, going into red-purple Roger here, yes, you do have access to red cards, but I would primarily consider Roger a purple ramp deck that just tries to get straight to the late game, and then it sits at 7,000 power, and it keeps buffing its leader from there, trying to get to 9,000 power as much as possible. Very solid leader in OP13. Then we have green-purple Luffy, which I do think falls off quite a bit in OP13, but I still think it's one of those decks that can kind of it can kind of just sneak wins against anyone, I feel like. Maybe not. Tell me if I'm off on that one, guys. Tell me in the comment section below. Just please be nice. Please be respectful. Red-black Sabo. It has red in it, but it kind of has the same red options as red-blue Ace does, where it's like, yeah, you're going to run the Searcher Garp and probably a few Searcher cards for Revo Army for Sabo. But I think this is primarily a black deck because it's going to be running the 8-cost Dragon, the 6-cost Sabo, the Secret Sabo, and I think it's going to do stuff from there, maybe even 9-cost Stussy, right? So I think it's more of a black, color deck, and I think it's very solid, but not as good as Emo. It's not as good as Emu, so I'm going to push Emu in front of that. Emu is just one of the best decks in the game in OP13 easily. And then for yellow, we have Enel and what's his name here? Eustace Kid. I think yellow is a slightly better yellow deck in OP13 than Eustace Kid is. Okay, guys? And let me get this out of the way right now so there's no confusion. I'm not saying that, all of these leaders in the solid category, you can probably master those leaders and push them into, like, one of the best in color because of how good you are on the leader, okay? Understand that right away, guys. All of the stuff in this red and orange tier, I wouldn't be surprised to see those leaders win tournaments. It would not surprise me, right? And even some of these leaders in maybe wouldn't really necessarily surprise me. It's the leaders down here in the maybe not and the smiley face category that would surprise me, okay? That would surprise me quite a bit. Okay, so that's it for the top tier here. For the solid cards down here, guys, I'm not going to move these around too much in order. Maybe I'll put them in color order like I did at the top here. For the red decks, you have Bello Betty, you have red-green Luffy, which I think is a very solid deck. It's probably one of, if not the best decks in all of the solid category, just because of pure power creeping. Red-green Luffy is actually very solid. Then we also have Zoro. We'll put that over with the red cards. Red-green Smoker. I'm going to put that actually towards the top of solid because I think red-green Smoker is actually very, very good. Okay, and then I think that's it for the red cards, right? Yeah, that's all the red ones, I think. For green, we got green-purple Lim. This leader is still hanging on, hanging out. It's still very strong. Green-yellow Law, green-blue Zoro and Sanji. These are all very solid. And green-yellow Yamato. In no particular order, I think if you're good enough with these leaders, you can make them work, especially at a local level, right? If you're trying to push into the regional or national level, I would recommend this stuff at the top here, guys. I think that's your best option for whatever color you play. But the next best options under that are what you see here. So here's the green stuff, at least, again, guys, at least in my personal opinion. Okay, so that's all the green stuff. Now moving over to blue. I actually think out of all the off-meta blue stuff, probably blue-purple Sanji is one of your best options. Blue Kuzan is also very strong. Blue Doflamingo is surprisingly strong. And actually, I'm going to push blue-yellow Nami up there next to Sanji. These are probably your best off-meta blue picks to run with, is blue-yellow Nami and blue-purple Sanji. Kuzan and Doflamingo are still solid. I just think they're kind of lacking now. They kind of been power crept past. Maybe not Kuzan. Kuzan might be better than I thought, or better than I think currently. I just haven't had enough time to test it too much. Only a little bit of testing. Okay, so that's blue. Now moving over to purple. I've been seeing a lot of talk about purple Luffy moving forward, and I could see the leader being decent. I'm going to keep it in the solid category for sure. Right next to purple-yellow Pudding, and then purple Katakuri we'll put right after that. But I think purple Katakuri is kind of more hyped than anything right now. I don't exactly know how much potential we'll have in OP13, actual potential. Okay, then moving on to the black cards. I think Blackbeard is still very strong. I think Lucci is still very strong, except into decks that have anti-removal, obviously. But I think Gecko Moria, guys, I'm going to push Gecko Moria all the way to the top of like the black options within the solid tier here. I think Gecko Moria is very, very strong, guys. You attach a Dawn, you swing for 6 and pay 2, and you're pulling cards out of the trash. So you're attacking for that magic number 6 into most leaders. Against red-purple Roger, it's not as good. But against most other leaders, swinging for 6 is like the perfect number to attack for. Into stuff like, green-purple Luffy, blue-purple Luffy, and red-blue Ace. That 6,000 is really, really strong. Okay? And then also black-yellow koala. I actually think black-yellow koala, this is an unpopular opinion, guys. I think black-yellow koala is even better than red-black sabo. That's just me. That's just from my own personal limited testing. I actually really enjoy black-yellow koala. I think it's a little bit better than red-black sabo. OP13 red-black sabo. Okay, and then for yellow, of course, we have, I think Bonnie's probably, Bonnie maybe should be up here in the best in color. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Maybe even blue yellow Nami should be in the best in color for yellow. I don't know, guys. Yellow's in a very weird spot, so don't take all this to heart here, guys. You know, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying this is gospel here. This is just my personal opinion and from what I've seen and experienced personally from my testing in OP13 and just from games I've watched and stuff like that. But I do think Bonnie maybe should be up here next to Eustace. Maybe it takes the place of Eustace Kid. Let me see something. Maybe we push Bonnie into this category as the new bruiser-style leader for yellow. But other than that, Calgara and yellow Katakuri are kind of holding it down at the end of the solid tier for yellow. Okay, now, that's it for OP13. Again, guys, what you see right here, everything in the orange and red category, that's what I would recommend. I'm not even necessarily saying that any of these are in a specific order. They're in a color order for the best in color and then going down from there, okay? And then everything under that, play at your own risk. If you come up with a really awesome build that's doing really well, be sure to share it with everybody so we know what's working for you, okay, guys? But yeah, everything down here in these other categories down here, it's pretty rough, right? It's pretty rough. All right, guys. Now we're going to go ahead and push some of these other leaders into the list. So now I'm going to zoom out so that this is a little bit easier for me to manage. There's just so many leaders in the game right now, guys. It's kind of crazy. So I'm going to zoom out quite a bit here, probably back all the way down to 100%. Okay, here we go. Now I can see everything. So we have this new Nami. This is a new promo Nami used to replace the old OP03 Nami. And it's already starting to see a little bit of results over in the East in, what are they in EB03 or whatever they're in over there, guys? I'm not exactly sure. So I'm going to put this Nami into the solid category, okay? And then for Red Blue Nefeltari Vivi. Red Blue Nefeltari Vivi, I think this leader will probably jump straight to, like, into this best in color category. I'm going to put it next to the red card here, next to Silver's Rayleigh. And let me put this next to the blue cards. I'll put Nami right next to the other Nami in the solid category. And then Red Blue Nefeltari Vivi, I'm going to put it next to the red cards because it really is like an aggro deck, right? It's an aggro deck with some really cool utility options from blue. Okay, now for OP14, guys, for OP14, understand that this is pure predictions. Do not be upset with where I put things. We have almost no information on these new leaders. We have not seen all their support. I'm just kind of going off my just generic knowledge of the game, my fundamental knowledge of the game, and reading the leader effects and telling you guys where I think they'll be based off of that and based off how the current meta is without seeing all the support. So if we see more support, it could change everything for these OP14 leaders. Okay, so now, with that in mind, I am going to go in color order. Let's go red, green, blue, then we're going to have purple, and then black, and then yellow. Okay. So Trafalgar Law, I think, will be a very solid deck. I'm just going to put it, I'll put it next to the red cards, but these are not meant to be in any specific order. I think Trafalgar Law will be a very solid deck. It has power manipulation built in. It's a 5-life leader. It's going to be manipulating power all over the place, I think, on your side and your opponent's side. And that maybe will allow you to beat down your opponent's board if they get too tall, if they get too big. I think it will probably just be a solid red deck. But I don't know if it's going to be better than Silver's Rayleigh, per se. Or if you like any of these other red decks, like Red Blue Ace. Again, I consider Red Blue Ace more of a blue deck, even though it has red cards as well. And the same thing with Red Black Sabo. I consider that more of a black deck than anything. But as far as like the main red options go, which I think will probably be Silver's Rayleigh, and then Red Blue Nefeltari Vivi, and maybe even Red Yellow Red-green, I guess red-green Smoker too, but that, I consider that more of a green deck to be honest, guys. But red-yellow Bello Betty, you know, I think there's going to be better options than Trafalgar Law. But again, all it comes down to is if they put out one good support card that's just insane, well then all of a sudden, you know, it's like the best deck in the format, right? Okay, moving on to green. I think green will probably push all the way up in here into the best in color category, I think Dracula Mihawk will be very, very good. I think it will probably compete with Zorro, where I don't know if it will necessarily be better than Zorro, but I think it will be very close. Green is a very strong color in the game, guys. It has a way to get around the anti-removal stuff that Black Emu has. So having a deck that's built around, you know, moving cards down and getting extra Dawn value and stuff like that, I think Dracula Mihawk will probably jump up into that, up in that top tier green category, somewhere around Green Zorro or Green Bonnie. Next up, we have Blue Jinbei. I think this leader will be very solid. I'm going to put it next to the blue cards over here. I'll put it in the top of the blue cards for the solid tier. And who knows, maybe Jinbei becomes the best mono blue leader. I could see Jinbei. Notice how there's no mono blue leader in this list, guys. In the best in color tier, I kind of have like red blue ace and blue purple Luffy sharing that spot. I could see Blue Jinbei becoming the best mono blue leader in the game, because that effect, it didn't seem great at first, and then we started seeing some of the support, like that new 8-cost Jinbei is just going to be absolutely incredible. The SR, I think that's going to be very, very strong, right? So I think Jinbei is somewhere in that solid category. Now, Blue-Yellow Boa, I'm going to be honest, guys, I think Blue-Yellow Boa becomes the best yellow deck in the game in OP14. I know that's not saying much. That doesn't mean it's going to be the best deck in the game, but I do think that Blue-Yellow Boa is actually just pretty much going to take the place of probably Yellow Bonnie. It's probably going to push Yellow Bonnie back down here into the solid category, and it's just going to, I think it's going to do most of the things that Bonnie's trying to do, but better, where it's like, I'm going to burn up life in the same way that Black-Yellow Koala does, where I'm just going to eat up my opponent's life, and then I'm just going to swing through for unblockable like 15Ks at your leader and just say good luck, right? And I'm going to hide behind blockers and eat up your life and draw cards and then just smash through your board while locking down your attacks. I think Blue-Yellow Boa Hancock will become the best, you know, yellow leader in the game once we get to OP14. Next up is Purple Doflamingo. I foresee Purple Doflamingo. Let me push it over towards the purple stuff. I think Purple Doflamingo will be the best purple deck going into OP14. I could be wrong on that because there is some pretty good competition there, you know, between Blue Purple Luffy and Red Purple Roger. Those are both purple decks in a sense. And then it also has to kind of battle with Purple Katakuri, Purple Yellow Pudding, and Purple Luffy. But I think Purple Doflamingo is going to be a monster, even with just the current support it has in the game. Okay, just with the current support that Doflamingo has in the game right now, I think that this leader's already going to be decent. And if it gets any extra support in OP14 that we've not seen yet to push it to the next level, it could be even better. Okay, then we have Black Crocodile. This is a big maybe, guys. We're putting this at the bottom of maybe because I have seen some support from this leader. No SRs. I haven't seen any SRs yet. At least I don't think I have. Maybe, actually, I think we've seen Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham was one of them. I'm not sure. Either way, this leader looks like it's missing something big time. Who knows? It might get the Rayleigh treatment where, okay, it has this insane stipulation where you can't even remove characters with your effects. But who knows? It could get the most insane busted support we've ever seen. Not sure. I have no idea, guys. I have absolutely no idea. But this is under the maybe category for now. We have to see more stuff coming out for that. And then last but not least, we have Black Yellow Gecko Moria. I'm going to put this at the probably the bottom end of yellow in solid. It really should be in maybe, if we're being honest, because we just don't know yet. I think it will have some potential, though, because we've seen some very strong cards that it can run with this new 8-cost yellow, I think it's 8-cost yellow Gecko Moria and a 9-cost yellow Boa Hancock. It could be decent. I'm going to say that the leader will probably be solid. Best in color, doubtful. But I think it could be very solid somewhere in that category. Okay, so that's it for the OP14 leaders. Now that we've gone over them, I do at least want to push up some leaders for OP once we get the OP14 support. I think Red Purple Sugar will actually jump up into the probably somewhere near the top of solid once we get that new support, because there's some pretty cool stuff that Red Purple Sugar is going to get their hands on. What else? Purple Yellow. I also think that very unpopular opinion here, guys. I should put let me put this under purple instead of red. I'm going to put Red Purple Sugar, Purple Yellow Crocodile, And purple, yellow, or green, purple, and I'm going to put under the purple category, green, purple, Dofi are probably going to move up into the solid category for OP14. And let me talk about that in just a second. I am going to move red, green, smoker over to green, even though it is a red, green card. I think it's more of like a green deck than it is a red, green one. Okay, you know, even though it's a red, green leader, I'm going to put over in the green cards. Okay, what else? Let me check everything real quick, guys. There's probably a few other ones I'm missing. Y'all bear with me if I'm missing anything, guys. But yeah, I'll leave this here for now. Maybe green black Perona can be decent moving forward, guys. We'll have to see what happens there. I hope for all the green black Perona players, for their sake, I hope green black Perona can step it up. Okay, but until then, guys, we are going to leave it under the maybe category. Now, let me go ahead and zoom in real quick, and we're going to talk about the final list here for OP14. Okay, not my favorite list here. The way that it's spread out. I like when the lines are nice and neat. But hey, it is what it is. So here we go. Let me talk about these three real quick. These three in particular. Purple Yellow Crocodile is a 7 Warlords of the Sea leader, right? It's a Baroque Works and 7 Warlords leader. I think that leader will have access to the new Boa Hancock from OP14, the 9 cost. And of course it will have access, I believe it will have access to a few other things from EB03. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think Purple Yellow Crocodile might be a really, really cool leader to mess around with once we get to OP14 with some of the new support. I could be wrong about that. We'll have to see. But I do think the 9 cost, I do believe the 9 cost Boa Hancock is going to be great in there. And then for green purple Doflamingo and red purple Sugar, they're both purple Don Quixote Doflamingo decks, and I think purple Doflamingo here at the top is just going to be a monster moving forward. So I think that they're going to get some support from that, and they'll probably be somewhere around the solid tier. But the question will be, are they going to be better than just running straight up purple Doflamingo? My hands are in the air, guys. If you can't see them, I have absolutely no idea. Sorry if you guys can hear my stomach growl. I'm starting to get really hungry. But yeah, that's about where I'm going to end this one, guys. What you see is what you get here. This is kind of the final part of it. Like I said, let's not even really worry so much about these cards down here in the maybe category. You know, that's kind of just whatever, right? I got to zoom out, guys. It's getting to me. I had to zoom out, guys. We had to zoom out to get it all on one row at the top, at least. It's okay if the solid row is not perfect, but we had to fix that, guys. I couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't deal with it. Okay. Well, this is about where I'm going to leave it, guys. This is my predictions for OP14. We went over OP13 before that, of course, and I'll have everything timestamped for people to jump around with. But tell me what you guys think. Is there anything on here that you think is like way off, or is there anything, or do you guys roughly agree with everything? Is there a certain leader you guys think I really missed on, or what? You guys tell me. And one more thing I want to mention before I sign off here, guys. I can probably be convinced on any kind of placements here, guys. If you're like, no, I think red, yellow, Sabo should be under solid, I'll be like, okay, yeah, you're probably right. Just list your argument, and I'll look at it down below. Yeah, you're probably onto something that I haven't looked into. Because, guys, it was one thing when we only had about 40 or 50 leaders. It was kind of easy to keep up with how everything was. But, guys, we're at 123 leaders, I believe, now. Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up at this point. It's kind of hard to keep up at this point. Right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me get the outro page on here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. And hey, if you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, using my TCG Player affiliate link, if you're donating through Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, a YouTube member, or part of the Discord community, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. This community is amazing. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, peace.